Welcome to Zephyr Yoga Inspiration. I offer these podcasts for free, and your support really does make a difference and is appreciated. To make a donation, please click the link in the episode description or visit zephyryoga.com. Welcome to this practice on Anavamala. Now, malas are not like the beads that you wear around your neck or your wrists to do japa practice, to do meditation practice with mantra. Malas, this term comes from Kashmir Shivaism, and it means the stain or impurities on the lens of our perception that cover our heart, our mind, and our body. This way in which we perceive our life through certain ego identities. So Anavamala is connected to the heart, and it uses your ego and relates to life and yourself through I feel. Mayiyamala is connected to the mind, and the ego identity relates to I know. And then Karmamala is the mala over the body, and that ego identity relates to I do. So we all can kind of sense that, like our ego, I feel things, and I know things, and I do things. And so this way of perceiving our ego relating to life and ourselves is just an interesting philosophy in which we can kind of break down and start to understand certain things that come up in our practice, or how we become distorted or diseased with life. And so there's this certain amount of suffering that occurs through our ego attachment to those identities. So the Anavamala is connected to the heart. I feel. And it is an expression of our moods, our emotional attributes, that uses the I feel to limit yourself to I am my feelings. I am my anger. I am my sadness. I am my confusion. I am my happiness. And that's how you reduce yourself to I am this. And we all know that those feelings are fleeting. However, our ego gets really caught up in it. And we start to see that Anavamala is the primary kind of cause of suffering. You know, the ignorance at the level of the heart, where we are in bondage of that limited belief of who we feel we are. So Ana means small or tiny in Sanskrit, insignificant, and certainly not as big as the divine or God. You know, there is this sense that you are this Anavamala reduces you to the source of unworthiness, a feeling that your life is meaningless, that there is something missing, and that you lack a connection beyond your limited viewpoint. And through the lens of Anavamala, we feel that there is something deeply wrong with me or you. That there is this separateness of oneself and other, this separateness between oneself and the divine grace or source or God. There's something between and separate between oneself and love or joy. And in that, there is this sense of a deep loneliness. And you're like, is this as good as it gets? However, we all have experienced when we get quiet enough, we become still, we turn inwards. There's a deep felt pull of a feeling that there is something missing from this viewpoint. And there is this kind of something wrong with the way in which I'm perceiving through this lens. This doesn't feel right. And there's this intuition that you feel that there is more to life, more to your relationships, more to you than this stain of I am my feelings. So when we practice and become still, we connect to something that is more vast. There's something beyond what we are culturally conditioned to value. And there is a time where we drop in and we recognize there is this yearning of a deeper inner wisdom, a soul of yourself, a consciousness or presence that is done with the phase of contracting and reducing yourself to I am my feelings. And you begin to kind of turn your inner awareness towards your own inner expansion beyond these fleeting feelings. Because we all know that emotions, like clouds, pass. And that when you say, I am angry, you're not anger. It's just that you're feeling angry, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling confused. But you are not your feelings. You are just consciousness experiencing it. And so there is an awakening when we start to see, oh, I'm just having some emotions. These are just, attributes that are clouding the lens in which I am perceiving life through. And with this awakening, this seeing more clearly into the reality of all things, it is said to be a Saktipata, which is this descent of power of grace, or this consciousness that wakes us up to our own bondage. And the sudden awakening is said to be felt as an experience of bathing in the light of compassionate love, as waves of blissful energy surge through our body. Or we experience this energetic shooting up of light and blissful consciousness as it explodes as unsurpassed joy in our head and above. Now, this experience of awakening, that purnata is a Sanskrit term for this all-encompassing fullness, oneness, wholeness, as it clears the lens of your perception and awakening you to this path that leads you to this integration of that divine source, or God, or presence, or deep love, which is at the core of humanity. But we get it kind of confused, because this isn't necessarily enlightenment. This is just the beginning of one's journey. So this way of Saktipata is this awakening, these little spiritual awakenings, is meant to inspire you to continue to practice. Like you are like, I want to go and sit down and meditate. I want to practice my yoga again, because that helped me deal with the feelings that are arising, the emotions that were arising, and get me to a place in which I can be touched by joy that lives at my heart, and I can sense it accompanying me into life's greatest challenges, or my roles and my duties and responsibilities I have to do in the day, that my ego needs, a healthy ego needs to help me function. Like, I need to be on time. I need to go to the shops. I need to go pick up the children. The ego, we need a healthy ego. And so this way in which this unsurpassed joy is a result of practicing, we can go out and with a healthy ego, go and do our lives. But if we get stuck in this, I am my feelings, I am my emotions, that we perceive through this Anavamala, especially through the heart, we are going to be interfacing with life in such a way where we kind of contaminate everything that we go into through the lens of, I am my anger, I am my grief, I am my resentment, I am my feeling of not enough, not smart enough, not good enough, not pretty enough, not yogic enough, not lovable enough. And that then distorts the way in which we interface, and that creates that attachment to the smallness of self. So the purpose of sadhana, your practice, is to remove the stain of the Anavamala that limits your identity to your heart, and that obscures the light of your own being, the essence of you, the joy, the beauty of you. And so as a result of practice, we feel that there is this pull towards a deeper truth. We know what it feels like to be touched by that fulfillment as a result of practice, a deeper contentment as a result of practice. And we also know what it's like to be freed from the bondage of that limited self that is causing us to experience some kind of dis-ease, pain, or suffering as a result of our emotional attributes. So you as a seeker, through the lens of this Anavamala, we have a deeper meaning to practice. We have a deeper purpose to practice, as our practice is a therapeutic tool to be able to honor whatever emotions, feelings, sensations that are arising, and actually use this practice to cleanse that so we can be our best self, that we can really live as our higher self in our lives. So within this practice, we are going to be working with point-to-point breathing. So usually a Saktipata, a guru comes and puts their hand over your head and, initiates this. So you're going to actually do it yourself. So Saktipata is this descent of power down your Sushumna, and this ascending of Kundalini arising that explodes and awakens. So what we're going to do is clear the path. So in the beginning, it's going to be very, very physical, and you're going to really move as I guide you through this meditation. And eventually, you will be so physically still, but energy is going to be arising and descending. And eventually, you're just going to sense that energy then all-encompassing, expanding in that pranata, that fullness, wholeness, oneness, and completeness of being as you expand in that light. So as we inhale from the crown of the head, bow your chin down to the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, you rise that, you allow that prana to ascend up to the crown of the head, and you lift your chin. You inhale, descend prana and your breath. And as you exhale, you ascend prana and your breath. So using Jaladhara Bandha to regulate the inflow and the outflow. Jala means water. And so noticing that as you inhale, you're putting the lid on your container, and your breathing diaphragm and your pelvic floor diaphragm press down. And as you exhale, your pelvic floor diaphragm and your breathing diaphragm help empty out the lungs. Uddiyana Mula Bandha, the diaphragm moves up, you release Jaladhara Bandha, and energy flows. Remembering that prana uses your breath as a vehicle. So you're really consciously drawing your life force, your vital energy, with your breath down the Sushumna and coming back up. And in this Kriya, this focused concentration as we manipulate prana to cleanse, to purify, to clear our lens, especially around the heart, because what you're going to sense is more of this lung capacity as it expands around your heart. Even though you're drawing your energy down and back up, you'll feel this energy expand and contract around your heart, and there will be more sensation around the Anavamala. So to begin, we're going to come to sit. And sitting comfortably, and if at any time your legs become uncomfortable, please extend your legs out and make sure that there is a comfortable seat. Position yourself so you can really drop into this practice. So as you find a comfortable seat, start to bow your chin as you inhale. And as you exhale, lift your chin. Bow your chin, inhale from the crown of the head down to your pelvic floor. And from your pelvic floor to the crown of the head, exhale. Bow your chin, inhale. Exhale. Now noticing the unique sensation the prana pattern opens you to experience. Giving yourself the permission to feel more fully. As you breathe more fully, feel more fully, awaken more fully in this moment. Again, as you just focus on the breath and the movement of prana, Open your palate, sweetly smile, opening your ears to receive these words. And explore as you focus the breath up and down the Sushumna Nadi, clearing the pathway. Notice how these words unfold a certain impact on the physical, energetic, and mental bodies, opening you to that Anavamala, where we feel unworthy, incomplete, not deserving, not enough, where we feel small, tiny, where we feel sad, lonely. And our compassion begins with our capacity to hold our own pain and suffering with this vast, open, loving awareness within our own heart. This practice is to rest our attention in the center of our heart, to our own vulnerability, our feelings of being unworthy and not enough. And as we rest with a tender appreciation for what is, we learn new techniques to teach ourselves about our own humanity, what it feels like to be human. This path is raw, intimate, and honest. So be brave as you breathe in all the way down and follow the outflow all the way out. And look at the certain emotions that is between you and feeling free right now. A feeling at peace within yourself right now. A feeling serene in this moment right now. What is between you and being here right now? Sense that consciousness, the more spiritual aspect of you, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, as well as human beings having a spiritual one. This experience of our ability to touch faith, trusting in yourself to discover the deepest truth you can rely on. Feel as you breathe in consciously a deeper, lighter, loving presence, a vast loving awareness big enough to hold all your pain and suffering. Know that you are safe, loved, and held in the arms of this beloved presence. But feel yourself open and willing to be guided deeper into your wounds, directly touching the strongest feelings that keep you stuck. Feel how these emotions erode like sinkholes within your heart. In the places where you hold shame, blame, resentment, and feeling so small. Keep breathing. Opening to the sensations of your feelings of failure, of making mistakes, of getting it wrong. Notice the stains on the lens around your heart of feeling disappointed, of not being enough, of being hurt, losing control, feeling embarrassed, feeling loss. Simply notice what is unique to your experience today. Riding the swell of each sensation as you open to the feelings of intense emotions at the level of your heart. And begin to acknowledge your feelings by offering words to express them. And encourage them to draw into the light of your vast loving awareness and your capacity to meet them with compassion and empathy. Following the breath up and down the central axis. Now say to yourself, even though I feel I need to act out my impulses, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel emotionally triggered, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel the heat of hurt and the fury of my resentment, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel the voice of self-judgment and self-criticism so strong, so loud, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel anxious, scared, uncertain for my future, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel so dark and wounded, I accept myself just as I am. Even though I feel I am drowning in my own grief and sorrow, I accept myself just as I am. Even though, describe what is present for you and say, I accept myself just as I am. Feeling the prana that you breathe in and breathe out, clearing the lens at your heart, touching the areas of most need. Feel with your attention a healing, a space develops as light can shine through. Place your hands over your heart. Breathe in. Bow your chin and breathe out. Lift your chin. Say with such sincerity to yourself, I see you. I am here. I am not leaving. You are not alone. I care. Your pain matters to me. I accept this part of me just as I am today. I am doing my best to manage today's unmanageability. I give myself the permission to feel. I see you. My feelings are seen. My intention is to bring healing to this. My intention is to bring love to this. My intention is to bring tenderness to this. My intention is to bring kindness to this. My intention is to forgive myself. I forgive myself. I accept this and where I am today. I accept that I am human and subjected to human ups and downs to life circumstances. I forgive myself. I open my heart. I lean in and hold this space with tender appreciation. Slowly lower your hands down again. Starting to sense that light from the center of your heart blooming from within. Sense your heart opening to the enormity of life embodied as you. Feel the fullness of bathing in this light of love, compassion, acceptance, and forgiveness. Ask yourself to be fully present. And bathe in the light of this compassionate love as waves of blissful energy surge through your experience. Be still. Notice what is awake as your body, energy, and mind are bathing in the light of compassionate love. Notice a transparency and a clarity, and that you feel the spring of unsurpassed joy bubbling up within you. This light of loving awareness that surrounds you is within you as you. This all-encompassing fullness of presence that is always there. Our soul's work is to remember what we are, spirit. Our spirit's work is just to be just as we are, awakening to this loving consciousness that is said to be joyous, intelligent, and always free. And our work as embodied beings is to honor our humanity with humility, forgiveness, love, and compassion. Breathe in, bow your chin, and say to yourself, I receive love. Breathe out, lift your chin. I let go of my pain and suffering. Breathe in, I receive love. I let go of my pain and suffering. I receive peace. I offer forgiveness. I receive peace. I offer forgiveness. I receive acceptance. I let go and trust. I receive acceptance. I let go and trust. Bring your hands in prayer position in front of your heart. Feel and hear these words as if they are your own. Let my life force be linked to my heart. Let my heart be linked to the truth within me. May that truth be linked to the eternal. That eternal grace which surrounds me is within me as me, and works with me and for me to wake me up to its presence in everything. As you sweetly smile, feel that constellation of sensation of unsurpassed joy fill your heart. Slowly open the eyes, lower your hands, and softly gaze, absorbing the residue of that practice. And taking that quality of awareness and feeling of joy into all your responsibilities, your duties that you need to do. I hope you are touched by your own compassionate heart, and you go off and do your day well. I thank you. Namaste. If you would like to continue to practice, find out more information about the topics discussed, or to donate to this podcast, please visit zephyryoga.com or follow the link in the episode description. I thank you.